What's up, guys? My name is Julius. Today, we will be talking about the country freezech, a micronation that will soon gain royalty over the entire of Europe, but be the greatest country, the most peaceful, and the most developing country, and the most richest country. In this scenario, it's either ride or die, and there's a reason why. If you subscribe to me, that's good. That means you're part of the country. So keep that up. Keep that up. I like that. Right now we're working on a rap song for something, but don't worry about that. So what exactly is freezech? So to be honest, no. The name may sound like we just took it from the Czech Republic, whatever it's called, but no. It looks like that, but no. In reality, it sounds freezech. It's a C silent though. It's not silent in the Czech Republic. It's not silent then. As we will say though, that this is gonna be like one of our empires. Well, not one empire, but it's gonna be one of the biggest countries in Europe and populated countries. What I mean by really populated though is about as populated as, I don't know, China, India, except high birth rates. I'm talking about, under my rule, there should be around 4 billion people in this one country in around 50 years. Yeah, because of my rule. Everything has to be the same. Now, welcome to the way, where we're going and stuff. We have a specific way. I'm your leader. My name is Julius, if you don't know me. And I'm I'm not really the leader, I'm just the creator. I'm just like the king. I'm just there for show and tell, you know? Like, to make fun. I'm just there like the queen and king and stuff of Britain. Like, we're not really as important. But we do have a president that you elect. We haven't picked the president out, but we will soon elect the president. And he will make a lot of decisions. We also have 4 Congress people, congressmen, congresswomen, whatever it is, whoever you vote for, really. But we'll have 4 of them. They all have to, one of them has to come up with a law, and then they have to vote on whether it should go to the president. The president has to say yes or no. If the president says yes, then that becomes a law. If the president says no, then it doesn't. It's same way of American democracy. Now, this is the part that you guys may or may not like. Nanotism is a little weird. It's not called nanotism, it's called cooperatism. But yeah, it's a little different. Polarity, nanotism, and cooperatism are basically the same thing. It's like socialism and communism. But they're basically the same thing, but they're all a little different. So, first off, let's talk about the cooperatist. Cooperatism is basically just means monarchy, socialism, communism, capitalism, and democracy all combined in one state. That's what I mean. That's what that means. So what happens is it's either ride or die. So when you're born, they look at you, they assign you, they say you're either going to be a worker or a soldier. Half the people have to become soldiers, and they have to be ready by 10. The other half have to be workers. They have to be ready by 10. They still have to undergo school and stuff, but they have to be sent out to war. They have to be sent out to war. Meaning that if we have 2 billion people in 50 years, 1 billion would be soldiers, the other 1 billion would be working. I know that sounds, well, this is just a form of communism. No. Wait. There's a reason why I say it's ride or die. So, first off, there would be a bomb planted in you. I know everything I'm saying right now sounds bad. And if you don't do the work, then you get killed. But, just keep in mind, prices are cheaper. To buy a can of, like, vegetables, it would be worth around $5, not $5, but 5 cents in the United States. Meaning that, and let's not forget about how 8 million USD is worth around 4 million. And I mean 4 million of, we call it rads, but that's what the currency would be called, rads. So 8 million USD is worth 4 million rads. Strong currency, per se. But what will happen here is we'll give them 4 million rads. So GDP per capita will be $4 million. But if you want to go by USD, that'd be $8 million. Meaning that if we're theoretically, if we're having 2 billion people, we have to pay them $8 million. If they deny and don't work for us, though, they will be killed under circumstance. They have to have a certain amount of income and output. If they fail to comply, and this vital die situation, though, is a little different than you'd think. If they fail to comply, they have around 2 years to fix it, or they're gonna get. That's what that means. They're gonna die. But this vital die situation is just how it's gonna be. So if they somehow fail to manage to do anything, it's too bad, too sad, because in 2 years they're gonna die. But so I'm gonna lay out some rules. Well, not lay out some rules, but I'm gonna tell you guys. This is first things first. Okay, actually I can't tell you that. That's confidential. So welcome to the country. Right? You're part of the national thing. It's micronation. So so it seems here that my country automatically has 13 people inside of it because I have 13 subscribers. Every subscriber means person in the country. And first 50 will be considered royalty, meaning that they don't have to work at all. I mean, 25 of them do have to become soldiers, though, unfortunately. They have to be able to fight. You have to be heavily trained for around 1 year. For regular training, 1 year. For other training benefits, you had 6 months. So probably 1 year, 6 months for full training. And then if you want special ops training, it takes around 5 years. Meaning kids start training at 10. Meaning all of them could be special ops by the time they're 16. Which is good for our military, because that means we can have half of them. Half of them be special ops. Now, they do have to be really smart, meaning that they have to get an education, a really high education standard. They're really smart. The funny thing is, there's no mandatory tests that have to be taken. We do have IQ tests that are taken once a year for each subject, though. And if you pass them, then you're qualified to be in Spec Ops. And you're also qualified to be in the research team. So it's either going to be Spec Ops or research team. Which means instead of making 4 million rads, you're going to be making 20 million rads. Which very little people will be able to do that because you have to get an IQ of 120 or over. And you take that test only one time in your lifetime, and that's exactly when you turn 18. So they won't be Spec Ops by them, but they can undergo training for Spec Ops. They can undergo training for researching and all that stuff. For researchment. That's a good thing. We are trying to research revolutionary things. I cannot also say that because confidential reasons. But we're trying to research revolutionary things. In this point, it's ride or die. Get millions of dollars. So if you join the country and you start this thing, then you get millions of dollars. So first off, we're gonna talk about the capital city. What will its name be? What will its name be? The capital city. There's gonna be 2 capital cities actually. Number 1, Beckengrad and Pevto. Hold on. So Beckengrad and Pevto. Why is there 2 capital cities? Right, Pevto is not the capital city. Beckengrad is the major capital city. Every government official lives there. Everybody lives there. Pevto is just the original capital city of Poland. So we'll talk about Eastern Poland, basically. So East Poland splits apart from West Poland immediately. Capital becomes Pevto for a short time, and then Beckengrad, the city, is infrastructured and made. Just like the city of Dubai, which is the newest city in the world. Which, very rich. The only difference is we're not going to have poop trucks 2 feet down the street from the most luxurious. First off, we won't have poop trucks, period. But we need a city to be revolutionary. Beckengrad, I'm making city plans for it. I've already made it so it can hold around 5 billion people. Yeah, that basically means that everybody in my room has to be standing like this. close to each other, like really close to each other. Let me show you. They have to be standing like this, like touching each other and everything. But no, I'm obviously joking. No, that's not what that means. So theoretically, that it's gonna be made to be able to hold 5 billion people, and the city is just a whole city that, funnily, is just covered with a dome. It doesn't have anything, like any weather, any changes or anything. It would just be covered with a super high-tech dome, which is made to do certain things. Like, there will even be naturist things inside of there that get water. So whenever it rains outside, that just goes, seeps through there, and basically rains there. But then the rest of it would be like a big mall, where there'll be stores, food, everything. Beckengrad would be about, I'd say, an entire Providence big. When I say an entire Providence, really an entire Providence big. Probably about the size of, I don't know, like Rhode Island itself. Probably about the size of Rhode Island. Really big. Covered in domes. There would be beds next to each other and stuff. And people, if a pandemic happens though, people are not allowed to leave. And our research teams that live in Pevto, that's why it's important. Or the people that live in the part of Beckengrad called Jerome. That's the capital part. There's 2 research teams there. They immediately start researching things. Like right now, I'm thinking of ways how to kill cancer. The leader of the research team is me. The leader of the Spec Ops team is me. The leader of the military is me. The leader of most of that stuff is me. But when it comes to lawmaking and all that stuff and administrating, that would be the president of the country. freezech. That'd be the complete country. So after we build a republic up, which would be Belarus, Western Ukraine, the entire of Eastern Poland, Lithuania, and some parts of Western Germany, which I'm sure you saw by my short. We have a couple things to talk about. The country name itself would be freezech. That'd just be East Poland, though. But when we form the republic, it would be the freest nanotist republic. And nanotism is the same thing as Polanity. Sorry. I thought I said something else. It's the same thing as Polanity, but not really, as I told you in the beginning of the video. Not really the same thing, but, you know, capital city, Beckengrad, and Pevto. Now, let's talk about the language. Donbask. That's the language. I already have some parts of it. I'll just tell you guys basic. So, in order to say be, just say bid. In order to say get, goot. Funny. It's able to say make, mock. In order to say go, goo. No, nah. Have, hoove, do, dove. Say, sigh. Hello, privet. Just like Russia. I am. Yeah, in order to say I, you have to say M instead of I. So basically, you'd say, let's say a sentence. Privet, wad, look, ta, withdraw, 50 milli do, sinkly, flop, blob, pine. Oh, by the way, it's funny because I made walk say pain, because why not? Walk, in order to say walk in this language, you have to say pain. That's some of the stuff. There's like, I've written a whole thing on it actually, or a thing on the language, but we're into that later. I'll show you guys everything later. The FNL, though, is not a communist country, not a socialist country, but you do have to walk. It's ride or die. Like in the gang, it's either ride or die. You leave that, like you get some good spoils and everything, but it's either ride or die. Which one you picking? I'm probably riding, but you know, which one you picking? It's ride or die. I'm sorry, buddy. Can't just go. Both. I'm sorry. Just can't. Physically impossible. So this is part 1 of freezech.